Hello and welcome to another video from me, Rough Swordsman, Wargamer. It's an open the box and it's an unboxing of DVG's brand new game, and it is of course Spruance Leader, the Cold War Fleet Combat Solitaire Strategy game. And I must thank DVG, but especially Dennis, for sending me this review copy. And he also sent me the 3 expansions for this game, but I'll do those in a separate video. So thank you very much, Dennis. Right, what's all this about? Sonar contact, Bloodhound away. So Spruance Leader places you in command of a naval task force during the Cold War, executing missions to deter or win a war with the Soviets. Assemble the appropriate ships to attack targets and defend the task force from Soviet submarines, naval ships and aircraft. Leverage your commander's skills to best support your mission. Spruance Leader is a solitaire game, so it includes 11 campaigns, and they're listed there. We'll have a look at those, including the Falkland Islands War, and the units include frigates, destroyers, cruisers and more. So you command the NATO and Allied forces and make historically accurate decisions, while the built-in game system generates the battles and controls the opposing forces. This means you can play the game at your own pace, whenever and wherever you choose. So this game is designed by Dean Brown, who also designed B-17 Flying Fortress Leader. So I'm expecting great things. So in the box we're going to see 397 full colour cards, 8 full colour counter sheets, 11 campaign sheets, one 22 by 17 inch mounted display, a 10-sided die, 1 player log sheet, 1 summary sheet and full colour rules booklet. So game scale, tactical and operational, 1 player of course, time to play about 30 minutes a mission, complexity low to moderate. Well, as it's a Dean Brown game, that will be slightly pushed up more to the moderate end, I would have thought. Ages 14 plus. Right, let's get the shrink wrap off. The shrink wrap is off and it's the usual 3-inch box that we see with DVG games. So let's open the box. So full to the brim, and the first thing we see is the rulebook, so let's have a look at that. Comes in at 50 pages, quite glossy paper, full colour, and will look familiar to players of DVG's Leader series. And once again, I think this game has things common to all those. So we've got the counters, the acronyms used, campaign sheets, this is the component descriptions, the tactical display, the ship cards and the commander cards, and target and encounter decks, enemy sub and ship cards, how to position your task force on the display, sensor performance cards, weapon counters, explaining the event cards, damage counters for both you and the enemy, the actions you can take. So that's task force actions and actions your commander can take. Helicopters. Setting up a campaign. Getting your log ready. Sequence of play in here. But I dare say there's one on the player board. And then getting ready for your missions. Mission execution phase. Enemy task force engagement phase. That's all explained in detail here. and enemy air engagement phase. These counters look quite different to normal. They've got actual photos on them. Brilliant. The briefing and the evaluation. We've got some optional rules. Good to see the random group selection, which I love in these games. I do like playing random, and you do get some extra points as well. So all the optional rules there, game credits. This section describes the US ships and ordnance included in the game. There we go, a little bit about them. And an example of play. There we go. Them's the rules. Here's the tactical display. And I've had to move the lights back because DVG's boards are well known for being extra shiny. So we have to watch that when we're videoing, but looks good. So down the side here, we've got the engagement sequence. So the engagement start, engagement turn sequence, and engagement complete, and the battle turns. Here's where the action's taking place. So again, another sort of abstract game, and movement a little bit like games such as Pattern's Best, where if the task force turns, these actually move instead. And the same with this moving nearer. Got spaces for encounter cards, enemy subcards, and enemy ship cards. And up the top here, we've got the enemy starting range and the enemy movement chart here. Here we've got the Spruance Leader task force log, which you're going to photocopy. It's double-sided with the same on the other side. And here is a basic campaign sequence of play, which some YouTubers say this is very handy. On the other side, we've got actions, ship, sub, helicopter, and commander actions. Now this looks like this is going to be used quite a lot. It's on quite flimsy paper, so what I think I'll do is laminate that. Next we have the campaign sheets. These are single-sided and look a little familiar to those that play the leader games. We've got the target area split into sections with different targets in them. It looks like this is where the enemy task forces could be placed. It's an easy campaign. The skill level of the ships and commanders you're going to use, I think, and short and medium campaign. Not sure what this is, but it looks like we're going to put a counter on here and move it along, and whatever one it's pointing to on the right is the number that's going to be used. So that's North Atlantic skirmishes, Cold War 88, use Atlantic ships. Here's an average difficulty campaign, North Atlantic Sea Lanes, 88 again. And the Atlantic War, this one's difficult. What's quite interesting about this is that it looks like these three campaigns can be put into a linked campaign, which is interesting. Here's a campaign a little earlier, 1983, Hold the Line, and Mediterranean Black Sea Assault. Here's one for the Falkland Islands War in 82. And now we're in the Pacific. This is the Indonesian Soviet influence, 1983. Invasion of Hokkaido, 1988. Escape and Evade. And lastly, Destroy the Kirov, 1988. This looks very different. Next are 8 sheets of counters, and they're on that usual thick cardstock, easy punch. And these look familiar to people who have played other leader games. Some ordnance there. But look, actual little photos of the ships. Lovely. And the planes. So here's the first 2 counter sheets. And the other sides. Sheets 3 and 4. Sheets 5 and 6. Got a few blank counters here, but I don't mind those. They go into my blank counter pot. They have a myriad of uses. And sheet 7 and 8. There's a D10. And the last thing, of course, like every DVG game, there's a ton of cards. Let's have a look at those. There is a ton of cards for the ships you're going to use, and just like the other Leader series, each ship has a set of 3 cards associated with it to allow you to promote it from newbie to green, average to skilled, veteran, and then warrior, I believe that is. So this will be familiar to us players of the Leader games. But there is an absolute shed load of them. Hold on, there's more. And I will do what I normally do with these groups of 3 cards, is put them into one sleeve so they're not all over the place, and I can just pull out the card if it gets promoted and turn it over, that sort of thing. But there we are. And at the end here, great pictures, we've got our helicopters. Oh, just seeing what that is. Ah, countermeasures ship, right. And then we've got the commanders, again, 3 of each, so you can rank them up. Munson, Brian, UK commander, and another one, Young and Woodward, right. We've got to have some targets to go after, and here they are, the target cards. So Allied convoy, maybe that's not to go after, that's to escort, yes. Oh, there's a target, enemy carrier task force, wolf pack. So lots there. Ooh. There'll be enemy ships. Again, a good load of those. Armed merchant. And some enemy sub cards. Good ones here. Lovely. Encounter cards. I'm not sure what these are for, but we'll find out, of course. Sensor performance. Ooh, they're different. Ooh, different weather as well. So quite different in some ways to the other Air Leader series we are familiar with. But then again, Dean Brown did something different with B-17 Flying Fortress Leader, so shouldn't be a surprise. And here are the event cards. I think this is pre-mission and post-mission, possibly. But there we are. That's everything. The box is empty. So this has been an Open the Box, an unboxing of DVG's new leader game, Spruance Leader, the Cold War Fleet Combat Solitaire Strategy game, designed by Dean Brown. And once again I must thank Dennis from DVG for sending me this, as well as the expansions, which I said earlier I'll do a separate video for those. So thank you very much. I know there's been a few unboxings of this game, but here's my one, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you haven't done so already, why not have a think about pushing that subscribe button, because it really does help the channel. Also pushing the like button, the old thumbs up, that helps tremendously as well. And if you want to be informed of other content the channel uploads, then push the bell. Leave a comment. This looks a little bit more crunchy than some of the other leader games, and I've seen a few playthroughs at the moment, but what do you think? Let me know. I love to read them. Thanks as always to my subscribers. Thank you so much. And a quick plug for the channel just before I go. If you want to support the channel a little bit further, well, now you can. You can buy the channel a coffee, and I'll leave a link in the description for that. Or you can push that super thanks button underneath this video. If you decide to do either of those, the channel and I thank you, because it helps to keep it ticking along. Right then, that's all for now. I'll see you in the next video. But until then, as always, you take care and goodbye.